Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Coworkers. This is the podcast where my buddy Josh and I, Josh, say hi,
What up, everyone?
where we talk about movies, entertainment, television, and all that stuff alike. I am your co-host, Regan Del Mundo,
And I'm your other co-host, Joshua Minari.
and I guess we're gonna just basic introduction. So Josh, where are you from, buddy?
I come from the Great White North. Just kidding. I come from Sacramento.
Nice.
That's where I hail from. What about you, Reagan? Where are you based out of?
Yeah, man. Born in San Jose, raised in Milpitas all my life. All my life.
Yeah, just getting it done in the Bay, which is actually funny because I'm from the Bay, and then it's like I made a U-turn back to home soil, and now I met this dude, and we're getting this show on the road.
Yeah. Speaking of which, how did we meet, Josh? How did we become coworkers?
So that's rather clever of you because that is the lore of our of the name of this podcast. Me and my boy Regan here, we met each other at work, which is a milk tea shop where we spent hours upon hours slinging boba and just shooting the shit talking about movies, and we thought, hey, why don't we just record our thoughts and post it online and just like make it a nice little casual thing. And for anybody that's interested in listening, they could join along for the ride.
Exactly. I think it got to the point where Josh and I got so close, and we got we talked about movies so much where we haven't worked together in like hella months.
Yeah, we have a feeling that our boss doesn't want us to put us on a shift together because we don't do anything but talk about movies all day.
Yeah, even though we're a fucking Class A tag team.
Yeah,
but
nothing can stop us.
But yeah, that's pretty much who we are and what we've been doing. Yeah. All right. So I guess Josh, have you been watching anything as of recently? What have you been up to?
Let's see. So I know this podcast is our main thing is that we love to talk about movies, but sadly enough, my movie intake has been rather lacking up until lately. Over the past few weeks, months as a matter of fact, because I just recently graduated back in December. I've been catching up on video games and like anime and whatnot.
Yeah, hold on, man. Hold on. You can't just gloss over that. You graduated. You got your bachelor's degree and shit. What'd you get it in, bro?
I got my bachelor's degree in digital art and animation.
Nice. Is like animation something that you want to do?
Animation is something I definitely have an interest in. I mainly went for a degree where it focused on traditional artistic fundamentals because I felt like I need to work on that first before stretching it into the world of animation because it acts as a nice stepping stone into that field. But if I know the fundamentals, I could stretch it and I could manipulate it in a way where it doesn't seem like bullshitted, you know? Like It just seems like the most natural first step that I would take with my interest and what it is that I wanted to do.
Nice. So like, you're fucking following your dreams, man. This is dope. Following your dreams. But yeah, I was sorry to cut you off, but like,
no problem.
They gotta know stuff about you, man.
Oh yeah.
Our audience gotta know stuff about you.
So I glossed over the graduation. 6 years in school and just finally finished it. So I've just been kind of a bum lately, because I just want some time to myself. You feel it?
No, that's fine. Then I feel that.
School is stressful, and like I missed out on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, in terms of like some video games and whatnot, I still have like a backlog that I still need to get through. A director's cut of my favorite game ever made, Persona 5. I still got to get around to playing that.
Nice.
Some anime that I've been watching. So right now this season, I'm currently watching a cutesy romance called Horimiya, and we have another coworker at our job who is absolutely in love with the show. It's KJ.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, and he just talks about how sweet and how wholesome it is, and it's almost saccharine to a point where like I feel like I'm getting cavities as I watch it. But it's still a really nice show, and there's still about 4 more episodes, so I'm excited to see how that plays out. The most popular show this season is called Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm on like episode 15, and it's a very enjoyable, just like battle shonen, and it's got really great animation. That's all I can really commend it.
Nice.
But the one show that I am super excited to watch and complete is a science fiction psychological horror show called Serial Experiments Lane. And for the people that know me and my tastes in entertainment, they know that I'm really into abstract or unconventional like gobbledygook. Like I really like to be an active watcher and like really like pick at things. So when the show decides that like, hey, we're just gonna use these visuals to like give you a hint of what it is we're talking about, and it's up to you to figure it out, that's when I think watching entertainment is like at its best. And yeah, now now that I feel satisfied with my anime consumption and my video games and whatnot, I jumped headfirst back into the movie game.
Nice.
Reagan, what about you? What have you been up to?
Well, I mean, I just finished WandaVision.
Yep.
You
Oh
know,
yeah, same here. I totally forgot about that.
I'm a big MCU fan, so I was very much anticipating this show. I finished that. For the past couple months, I've been kind of just catching up on the 2020 movies. You know, just to get ready for award season.
Yep.
Which
coming
we
up
are,
quick.
which we will touch upon.
Spoiler alert.
But yeah, I've been doing a lot of that. So a lot of like the big Oscar contenders, you know, I've been catching up on. But before that, I was just trying to like watch as many like films as I possibly could.
Yeah, you were telling me that you got burnt out of all the mass amount of movies that you watched.
It's because I mean, because like once winter break started for me, I'm in college. If you guys didn't know, but once winter break started, I was like, man, fuck, I'm just gonna watch a shit ton of films.
That's the move right there.
And I fucking did, and I got a little burnt out towards a couple weeks ago.
It is a double-edged sword.
Yeah. But I mean, it was fun, man. Like because I don't, I think as of recently, now is when I really kind of just opened up on like my tastes or just like what I watch. You know, I've opened up a little more.
Watching things that you wouldn't necessarily watch on a normal basis.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, I mean, like before I really like dove headfirst into like films and stuff. I mean, I was a big like blockbuster guy, right? The fucking like MCU movies, the fucking Star Wars movies, Fast and Furious, all that shit. Like that was my shit. Big explosions, big actions, and whatnot.
This man was a Michael Bay stan. It was the first thing I really learned about him.
Yeah, man. Hey, the Transformers movies were inspiring to me when I was a kid. But I mean, now looking back, they're fucking booty cheeks. But
hey, man, tastes change.
Yeah, tastes change. They do.
It happens.
And so I kind of went back and I saw these like classic films in a way.
Even taking a film appreciation class at school.
Yeah. Last semester I took a Asian American Studies like class for like film and whatnot. And that was very like inspiring, to see like all these Asian Americans, and they kind of create films on this like micro budget.
Yep.
And yet they still fucking like made it,
Yeah, it's inspiring.
I did that, and then this semester I'm taking a cinema art studies class, kind of like an intro to like filmmaking in a way, which I really love. I really appreciate because I decided I want to go to film school in a few years. I decided that this degree of mine is not exactly what I want to do. So taking this class is very, what's the word? It's very inspiring, very motivating. But yeah, I've been doing that. So watching a lot of movies, a lot of Oscar contenders.
But you still haven't seen Bloodshot.
Fucking shit, man. I'm not gonna fucking...
Dude, I'm gonna hold that over your head
fucking
for as
Bloodshot?
long as I know you.
No.
It's good, dude.
Bro, you're telling me it's good when I watched Tom and Jerry recently? Come on now. I think I've like... I'm past the shitty movies of last year.
Yeah, we're trying to watch some good stuff.
Yeah, I need to watch some good shit.
Leading into what we're going to talk about, we will be talking about some good stuff. Well, actually, I just thought about what we're going to talk about, and yeah, we're going to get to that. But anyways, where were we? So...
Just talking about what we've been up to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've just been up to that, just catching up on old movies and movies of last year. Trying to expand my taste. I think like Criterion Collection, like getting into that has really helped me like expand like what I watch. So I really appreciate it. So yeah.
All right, so that was a nice little introduction from us to you, to the listeners or viewers, if you want to watch this, even though it's going to be most likely an audio episode. But regardless, the next thing that we wanted to talk about was the fact that award seasons for movies and film is underway.
It's here, man.
It's here. We got the Oscar noms coming in next Monday.
Yeah, so the Golden Globes and the Critics' Choice just happened these past 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. The BAFTA nominations got announced today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the Academy Awards nominations are next week.
Next Monday. All right. So we got next week's episode is most likely going to be us
reacting to the nominations.
We're going to proceed with the week with catching up with a lot of movies. But the big one that is turning heads that I haven't seen yet, but Regan has seen, is called Nomadland. It was directed by Chloe Zhao.
Chloe Zhao, man. Fucking killing it. She is sweeping the awards fucking game, man. I think she won Golden Globes and Critics' Choice, both director and Best Picture. Mm-hmm. She's fucking killing already. And I'm excited for it because, I'm a fucking fanboy of the MCU. She's directing she's directing Eternals.
Yes, she is.
So
she is, as a matter of fact.
I am very excited to to see what she's done with that property. Mm-hmm.
To see what she's allowed to do also, because I can't wait to see Nomadland. I'm a huge fan of Frances McDormand. Three Billboards was probably one of the best movies I saw from that year, and I just thought she was phenomenal in it. And for her to win Best Actress that year, it just gets me even more excited to see what she could do in a movie that seems to be much more intimate. And I just want to, and we're probably gonna catch a showing of that sometime this week. So hopefully we'll come back with thoughts on that soon.
Yeah. Josh has a lot of work to do because he has to catch up with a lot of the films, but I've seen a good handful of them. Just last night we saw Minari and Promising Young Woman, and I really enjoyed those two. Although Promising Young Woman, I kept going in and out of the movie because I was busy doing stuff, but Minari, I was there through and through, that. Lee Isaac Chung, man. Mm-hmm. Wow, what a great fucking film, bro.
Yeah, along with Nomadland, some other movies that were turning heads, like Regan mentioned, was Minari and Promising Young Woman. And I had only seen trailers, maybe a teaser trailer for each of them, but looking at the cast and crew and who was attached to each of these projects, it had me very excited to see what these movies were actually about. And Minari is probably the movie that I liked more out of the two, even though I think both are, at its worst, they're both great movies. But Minari definitely pushed above and beyond in my experience, through my eyes, that I really enjoyed the familial aspects, the very homely nature. I made the comparison yesterday when we watched it. It's kind of like watching Animal Crossing. It's a little bit like that. Or for anybody out there, if you played Stardew Valley, it's a lot like that. But yeah, there's just this really nice, homely, and small scale feeling to it. It's like they just videotaped the family, just trying to just make it through life on a day by day basis, given their circumstances. And man, does the grandma and the little kid really steal the show. They are the heart and soul of this movie, which I think is really great because of this generational message that they want to get across about these two individuals that are within the same family, but they seem so distant from each other. And I really think that was handled so extremely well. It led to some of the most emotional, some of the funniest parts of the movie. And I don't know what it is with these really sad Asian movies like The Farewell and now Minari, but the grandmothers are always taken scene stealers. It's insane.
Yeah, I agree, man. And it's funny that you bring up the grandson and the grandma, because Alan Kim won the Critics' Choice, man, dude, his acceptance speech.
I was up till 5 a.m. last night watching videos of Alan Kim just like on talk shows, like acceptance speeches and stuff like that. He is a genuine like child, and it is the
best thing ever. It's
so great.
So great.
Did you watch the one where he's on Jimmy?
Oh shit. My bad. I just knocked over your fucking books.
Don't worry about that, dude. No harm, no foul.
All right. Sorry.
But anyways, did you watch when he was on Jimmy Kimmel and he came out with the purple belt?
Yeah.
And he was more excited about being promoted in Taekwondo than winning a Golden Globe. That is some type of vibe that I'm trying to be on.
That is some wholesome shit, bro.
It is so wholesome. Nice.
But yeah, Minari, man, fucking great, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think one thing I liked about it was the whole American dream aspect.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which I know it's like, it's what Lee Isaac Chung like based it off his life.
Yeah, I actually learned that after watching the movie. I had originally thought it was just a original screenplay and not based on anything like a written work or even a autobiographical. But I looked it up and it's a semi-autobiographical on Lee Isaac Chung.
Yeah, and so this whole story about like Stephen Yeun's character, you know, with a dollar and a dream, right? And he just wants to be successful in something and to provide for his family. And yet he's met with all these hardships. Yeah,
that line in the movie when he says, "My kids need to see me achieve something."
Oh, yeah.
That was tough.
Yeah, definitely.
I was like, wow.
That hit, you know. But I mean, I think as me personally, as a child of an immigrant, you know, it hits a little different for me because, like, you know, we kind of take like our parents for granted, you know, and we don't really appreciate like all the work they do to get to where they're at or where we're at now. So seeing that movie, seeing that whole take on it it hit a little deeper in my
pretty
heart.
Deep, dude.
In my heart. Yeah,
but
overall, man. Oh yeah, Stephen Yeun too.
Phenomenal.
Dude, the only other thing I've seen him in was in The Walking Dead. And then I didn't even watch like all of Walking Dead. But fuck, he's fucking great in this movie.
I'm really happy that at this point in his career, he is the most successful alumni of that show. Like, he was a fan favorite of the show. I remember watching up until the season where
he fucking
spoiler alert, I guess, if you haven't seen Walking Dead or haven't been on the internet, that Glenn gets bashed over the head with a bat, and it happened in the show, but it was handled in a really kind of strange way, and it essentially just led to Stephen Yeun leaving the show. But he went off to do some really interesting projects. He went and made this horror movie, like a action horror movie that's kind of like the Belko Experiment. It's called Mayhem. That was the first thing I remember hearing that he was attached to right after The Walking Dead.
Wasn't he in Okja?
And then he was in Okja. And then he was a part of one of the best Korean movies I've seen, which is called Burning.
Oh, okay.
It's on Netflix. And that was the first time I saw him in a role where he spoke Korean.
Oh, nice.
And that movie it really showed like his acting prowess. Because sure, you have to act for this dramatic role, which is The Walking Dead, and it's kind of like TV melodrama, and you got to play up like the emotions in certain ways, and because there's such a large cast that like not all the screen time is devoted to Glenn, because he is at the end of the day like a side character. And then you have something like Mayhem where it's more tongue-in-cheek, and it's just like it's not really meant as a flex for an individual's acting muscles. Well, it can be, but you know, that's not really how that movie was first interpreted. And then Burning came out, and it's like this really, really dark thriller. And just to have him play this such a charismatic character, but there's something so off about him with like every word that he speaks, and like just his whole like vibe and persona, it made for like such a riveting experience. I highly recommend that like you check it out sometime.
Okay.
And
awesome.
For anybody to check it out. I believe it's still on Netflix. Hopefully it still is. With the recent surge of Korean films and like the interest in Korean movies, I hope a lot more people have seen it.
Nice. Well, I'll definitely give that a watch, man. But first, we got to get through all these Oscar-worthy films first.
Speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about Promising Young Woman. So Reagan, what did you think about
I think
Promising Young Woman?
I think Josh would have a lot more to say with Promising Young Woman than me, only because I missed like the first act almost, and I missed the probably some very big reveals. But overall, I think it was a pretty damn good movie. I think Carey Mulligan fucking killed it.
Carey Mulligan is really, really great in this. The last thing I saw her in was Drive. Bro, I don't think you saw it. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, not yet.
But the last thing I saw her in was in The Dig.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My younger brother was watching that movie, and I caught a little bit of it. Dude. He said it was like British Holes.
I mean, kind of.
A little bit.
But shit, man. Okay, look, no offense. If you love that movie, great. I know, it got a BAFTA nomination.
Mm-hmm. It's a very, it's just like a period movie, right?
Yeah.
It's historical.
But the problem is, it's a little boring for my taste.
Damn. Shame.
But I do think the best part about that film is Ray Fiennes and Carey Mulligan. Hands down. They are probably the best parts of that film. But everything else is, it's lackluster for me. But anyways, Promising Young Woman. Yeah, I think Carey Mulligan was great. And the whole idea about, oh boy, this is a very heavy topic.
Yeah.
About trigger warning.
How should we ease into this topic? Because if you're not prepared to see or hear about what the movie wants to discuss, it's very triggering. Oh my god, I got to sneeze. I could feel it.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Get it out. Get it out. There you go.
Yikes. But anyways.
So trigger warning. There will be some talks about sexual assault and rape. So if you're very sensitive to that, you can
just be warned that Promising Young Woman does tackle these subjects.
Yeah. So I think what's her name? Cassie? That's her name?
Yeah, the main character's name is Cassie.
So basically, what Cassie does is after a tragic thing happened to her best friend, she kind of sets out on this whole revenge where she kind of acts drunk, you know, at bars to lure these fucking a-holes. You know what I mean? And she basically, well, I don't know. I want to say she fucking kills them.
No, but in the beginning it was kind of suggested. I think you missed that part.
I might have. Was it the one with McLovin?
No, it was the one before, the very first one. So the movie starts with these three businessmen, and they're at a bar, and then they're talking ill about women and stuff like that, and just very dude bro behavior. You know, it's making passing comments about women and jobs and stuff like that. And it's super distasteful, but it's meant to sell the point that these guys are absolutely abhorrent. And then there's one guy that seems like he's very much of the mentality that I don't really like it when you guys talk that way. He kind of has a wishy-washy nice guy facade, and then he sees Carey Mulligan drunk at a bar. And then he's like, oh, why don't I just take you back to your place? You look like you can't really stand, so I'll help you with a ride and whatnot, calling up an Uber, and then I'll make sure that you make it home safely. And then during the ride, the creepy nice guy is like, oh, you know what? As a matter of fact, my apartment is just a few blocks that way. Do you maybe want to go there? But he's asking Carey Mulligan, who is, to our knowledge, completely shit-faced.
Yeah.
And unresponsive of any of his advances. And he just takes essentially no means yes.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And then the other thing that the movie talks about is people who are passive in these scenarios, where they will turn a blind eye to these actions that are happening. Because the first example is the Uber driver who, at the start of the ride, he's like, oh, is she gonna be okay? She's so drunk, I don't want her puking in my car and whatnot. And the guy is like, oh, she's gonna be fine, just take us back to my place. And then even after hearing that, the guy glares, the driver glares at the creepy guy, and then he's like, just put it in the app and I'll take you there. And it's he didn't put an end to it, you know?
Yeah.
And then they end up going to the guy's apartment. He gives her more alcohol. But then as soon as he starts making like terrible advances on her, that's when she like drops the facade. And then they don't show it happen, but she like beats the living shit out of this dude because like in the next morning they show her walking down the street like a walk of shame type of thing, but we know as the audience that she just like put a guy in his place.
Yeah.
Like it's like, you try to do this, like now I'm gonna fuck with you.
Yeah.
And it's funny because in that scene also, there's a part when she's walking down the street and these 3 construction workers start catcalling her. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, oh my god, like, walk of shame, how does it feel, huh? Did you have a good time last night? And she just stands there and just stares at them. And like, there's a point in time where like the 3 dudes are like, hey lady, like that's creepy, like stop doing that. Like their whole facade drops. Like there's definitely like that angle to it. And it wants to talk about the big thing the movie wants to talk about is like that like frat boy behavior and like this culture of it's like rape culture and like cancel culture and whatnot. It's like it touches on like all these things. And I think the best part about the movie is that for a topic that's as serious as it is, this movie is also a dark comedy. Like there are just these really odd jokes or like odd instances of humor that it doesn't really seem like it should be funny, but they just come out of left field, and it makes the levity of like its tongue-in-cheek nature, like it makes it shine through, so that like it doesn't make it so the movie is so dour, it's so depressing, like it's like misery porn essentially, where like we just gotta feel bad, because there are genuine like shining nuggets of like light where the movie doesn't take itself as seriously, but it still has a very serious story at its core.
Right. I think one thing that I kind of liked about this movie was that spoilers, there's this whole scene where she kind of goes back to her old like school, her old university.
Oh my god, that part was insane.
And she meets with the dean, and she talks to her about the whole like situation that happened, and asks her, "Oh, do you remember what happened?" And she goes, "Oh no, I don't remember." And then she kind of what is it, blackmail in a way?
Yeah, she's essentially like blackmailing. She puts up the facade that she's holding her daughter hostage.
Yeah, exactly. And then like in doing so, she kind of just that's when the dean starts to like remember and oh shit, it's fucking, do you hear that? It's fucking raining.
It's raining like crazy outside.
Anyways, back to the movie. So basically that scene where Cassie is meeting with the dean, that's when the dean kind of just admits like, yeah, you know, like what happened was wrong or whatever, and you know, but I can't do anything about it. Essentially is like what she basically said.
Yeah, like she even the dean even talks about like, she says a line where she states, we get accusations like these, we get hundreds and hundreds of accusations like this, we can't just like ruin the life of so many like young men and whatnot. And then like Cassie was like, oh yeah, we got to give these boys the benefit of the doubt, right? Yeah, innocent until proven guilty was the dean's like main defense, and then it lost its like meaning and any kind of nuance the moment Cassie revealed that she kidnapped the dean's daughter and sent her to a bunch of frat guys on campus, and like made it seem like it's like, how does it feel now that this situation is happening to someone you love? And that's exactly what Cassie says. She says, oh, it's different now that it's someone you love, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's really, really heavy. Like, it's really intense.
Yeah. Dude, damn. We're kind of giving the whole movie away.
Well, we did kind of say spoilers earlier.
Do you want to talk about the ending? Because the ending is apparently polarizing to some people.
Yeah. I was talking to another person who was watching it with us. I was talking about it with Kat, and she was like, "Oh yeah, the ending is polarizing because of the fate that has befallen Cassie." Mega spoilers, as if we haven't been spoilering the movie enough, but this is your last chance to turn away if you haven't seen the movie, because we're about to discuss the ending, which is simultaneously, it's really dark and kind of depressing, but it's like a last laugh type of thing, where like she got the upper hand. So by the climax of the movie, Cassie is finally going to confront the person who did the act of raping her best friend.
Yeah, because like, he's kind of lived a successful life. He's getting married basically. He's fucking a doctor now or some shit, and he gets to live free, scot free, with like no consequences.
No consequences whatsoever. And he is throwing a bachelor party with all of his homies that were at the same party like years ago where Cassie's friend got raped, and how everybody was like egging him on and like and just like making jokes and laughing about the whole situation. So now this is Cassie's opportunity to like put the final nail in the coffin. And at first her plan is to like masquerade as a stripper and to take the guy, his name is Al, to take Al to a room, lock it, and to like give a private show, quote unquote. But really she handcuffs him to a bed and is attempting to carve Cassie's friend's name, which is Nina, like all over his body.
Kind of like Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, for those who've seen it.
Or like Inglourious Bastards.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like a mark that you can't hide. Like it's something that like it should stick with them, but somehow like this traumatic event didn't stick with them. Their only excuse is like, I was just a kid, I was just a drunk, and just like things like that, and it's so odd.
Mm-hmm.
But the big polarizing part of the ending is that right when she's about to start the act of carving Nina's name all over Al's body, Al breaks one of his hands free from the handcuff, the like kinky fuzzy handcuffs that like a female dancer would use, and then like proceeds to smother her and suffocates Cassie and kills her. And then the polarizing part is that people were thinking that like it's too miserable. It's like, why did they have this character's arc end that way? But in my mind, when I watched it transpire, I said it earlier how it was like a last laugh type of thing, and it's like and then everything really gets resolved at the guy Al's wedding. It's like you can see on his face, and you could see like the guilt and like the trauma is like it's finally setting in about what he did. Like he seems so uncertain, and he seems like so like fearful of everything, even though like some of his friends are just like proceeding with the wedding as if nothing happened, which is like awful.
Yeah.
And then hold on a second. But I don't know why I was getting frazzled for a second. I just like really just like shut down my train of thought. That was so weird. Fine. So anyways, the last laugh portion happens when a scheduled message is sent to a former acquaintance of Cassie, who was revealed to have been a part of the rape of her friend. And then it turns out that Cassie got possession of some video evidence of the event happening, so there's no like allegation. Like this is some like set like in stone hard evidence that will incriminate them. And on top of that, they're gonna incriminate Al on the rape charges, but also for the fact that he murdered Cassie. Yeah. Because like there's been missing persons filings reported to the police at this point in the movie, and everybody's out looking for her. And then everybody finally got their due diligence, and like they got what was coming to them is how the movie ended. And yeah, to some that just didn't sit well, but to me, I'm fine with the way the movie ended, and I do like that idea of like these horrible people finally getting what was coming to them, even though it's overtly made clear that the director wrote these male characters to be borderline like caricatures of like how these bad aspects of them are played out. It's like they range from like these nice guys who feign ignorance to like sexual assault, sexual harassment, and rape and whatnot, to these dude bros who are like championing like this behavior, and like they can't see any wrong in like the way that they behave, and it definitely plays with that line.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to input with this, Reagan?
Well, you kind of put the words in my mouth, man. I mean, I completely agree with everything you said. I did enjoy it, or I mean, enjoy it for the most part. Oh fuck, what was I gonna say?
Hey man, don't worry about
yeah,
it.
no,
there's a lot to think about with this movie.
Yeah, I completely agree. I didn't have a problem with the ending. In fact, I thought honestly, like, it as tragic as it is of an ending for her character and her arc, I think it kind of it fit in well, because again, like you said, she gets the last laugh at the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unfortunately, you know, she was murdered, but you know, she still essentially wins.
Yeah,
right?
It's like the booking of everybody that is associated with what happened, and then the fact that like they're tacking on like a murder charge on top of it. There's like so much stuff stacked against them that like it's like it's an eye for an eye scenario, but like it's done. It's like the revenge that like she dealt back to these guys are just like tenfold. It's it's the same feeling, and like how it's the same feeling and like ruination of like how she felt when she found out her best friend like had to go through that traumatic experience. So it's like, oh yeah, so now you have to experience what it's like to have your life completely shattered.
Mm-hmm. Oh, oof, yeah. Fuck. I mean,
yeah.
we would. I mean, at least I would highly recommend that you go see this movie, because it talks about these points, in a very, you know, not super on the nose, but in a way where it's thought provoking, and it's also entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
So I would highly recommend it. Although again, be warned that it does deal with topics like rape, sexual assault, and whatnot. So yeah.
Yeah, that sums up our thoughts on the two Oscar movies that we watched just recently. And speaking of other Oscar movies that are... Well, this is an Oscar movie that hasn't even come out yet. It comes out on the 18th.
Where are you going with this? What Oscar movie?
I'm referring to the Snyder Cut of Justice League.
Oh my fuck. No, absolutely. Okay.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, man?
You're right.
That was an Oscar-worthy contender right there.
God on high, Zack Snyder.
You better be praising Jared Leto's Joker. You saw a picture of him with the Thorn of Crowns?
God on high, Zack Snyder, man. Fucking.
You know how we talked about Promising Young Woman being like this nuanced commentary on a really heavy subject? Yeah, there's no nuance coming from this our favorite director of all time, Zack Snyder. This man, I bet you this guy goes on Reddit to like look at memes to like insert it into his movies.
Jesus.
It's gonna say writing credits to Reddit and whatnot. It's gonna be amazing. But anyways, I bring up the Snyder Cut not only because it comes out in a few weeks.
Okay, hold on. Mind you, I haven't actually seen Justice League. So this whole Snyder Cut thing, I am honestly like, take it or leave it. I don't care about it. I'm not excited for it. I'm not one to fucking, you know, bash on it or whatever. So, you know, just putting that out there.
So the Snyder Cut,
Uh-huh.
it comes out in a few weeks.
Uh-huh.
And for anybody that is unaware, it is a project that is being produced and distributed through HBO and HBO Max. You know what else is on HBO Max?
Yeah.
The Tom and Jerry movie.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
Did you know that they're fucking connected to each other? They share a cinematic universe.
What the fuck?
Yeah, there was this news story that came out that some users who wanted to watch Tom and Jerry instead started Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Wait, no fucking way.
Yeah, dude, they watched they were able to watch like an hour 40 minutes because that's how long the Tom and Jerry movie is, but there are some people out there who are able to like tamper with the site's like coding or like the back end stuff so that they could extend the runtime and they could see further into the movie.
Holy shit.
A lot of screenshots were actually posted on like the internet and whatnot, and I've seen a few of them, and it makes me very excited for the movie. And I know Reagan was saying that he hasn't seen Justice League. I've seen Justice League. I've seen every single DC movie.
Oh, man. Thank God! Thank God! I've only seen Man of Steel in its entirety.
To put it lightly, I'm not the biggest fan of DC movies. So seeing everything that's been transpiring, all this like the whole like release the Snyder Cut movement, man, that is a good regime on the internet. The release the Snyder Cut regime on Twitter is really insane.
Yeah, man, you gotta give props, man.
They were voracious.
Yeah, they fucking wanted it and shit. They fucking got it.
And they got it, which is funny because Zack Snyder ordered like $70 million of reshoots, so the movie didn't even exist. And he was just given the opportunity to make it. But you know what? Given my my past history of the DC movies and how I feel about Justice League, BVS, and Man of Steel, I am curious to see how the Snyder Cut turns out, because I feel like it's a win-win scenario for me. If it's good, it's good. Like, I'm going to eat my words, and it's going to be, like, a really great movie. Like, this is the movie that Justice League fans deserve. People deserve to be happy, even though they essentially bullied a production company into making this movie. And if it's really, really bad, then it's just something I could find entertaining. Maybe the jokes are going to wear itself thin after 4 hours, but I'm hoping it's going to be, like, entertaining at the least. And judging from the pictures, you saw Jared Leto's Joker in that Crown of Thorns. This movie's going to be entertaining as hell.
Oh my.
And it is 4 hours.
4 hours? No.
That's almost as long as we're at work. That's insane.
We should just have Sunny turn it on.
We should. We should
put it on
watch. YouTube. We don't even get sound on that TV.
That's
How
true.
are we gonna watch
That's
it?
true.
Captions? Dude, and in captions, it's gonna be in another language.
It's in like Taiwanese or Chinese.
Yeah. Oh my god. I feel like that's the most ideal way.
But yeah,
you know, like those pictures of people watching like a David Fincher movie on like their iPod Nanos and stuff like that?
The Nolan movies?
Yeah, Nolan movies. I'm watching Nolan on my 3DS. The ideal way. I think this is the ideal way to watch Justice League. But anyways, with the Justice League Snyder Cut coming in hot in a matter of weeks, me and Reagan have taken it upon ourselves to catch up with the DC Extended Universe lore.
Oh, yes.
And it started on Sunday with our viewing of Man of Steel. And this is the first time I actually saw Man of Steel in its entirety. And
Same.
yeah, same goes for Reagan. And you know what? I remember this being lauded as like a pretty good representation, iteration. Like Henry Cavill's Superman. It's like it really captures the essence of him. I don't know what black magic Zack Snyder casted, but he made it so talented actors and actresses like Amy Adams can't act their way out of a paper bag. There's something...
Oh my lord.
It really plays into the fact that the movie's color grading, it's so blue. Like, it's so sad. It's really, like, dour and really self-serious.
But Josh, you're talking about sadness, bro? He's supposed to be hope.
His costume is blue, bro.
He's the hope for motherfucking Earth and humanity.
He's gonna lead the
what
humans.
What does the S mean? Hope. Motherfucker. Hope.
He should put a big H on his chest instead of an S.
No,
oh my goodness.
But honestly, yeah, it was my first time seeing Man of Steel 2, and it wasn't as garbage I thought it would be, but it was still pretty
You know, it's funny. Like, the best thing about like these movies is that like no matter how much I find myself to like dislike them, they don't really bore me.
Yeah,
because there's always something to talk about with them. And whether it be like some crazy creative decision that Zack Snyder made, or like the way certain sequences are presented to us, there's always something to talk about, and I like that. I commend that about Zack Snyder. And yeah, that's. How deep do you want to get into this Man of Steel conversation?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think Henry Cavill is terrible. You know,
I don't think he is.
I think he did pretty decent.
Like outside of, did you see Mission Impossible Fallout?
I did not.
Homeboy is actually charismatic as hell.
I saw Enola Holmes though.
Was he charismatic in that?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Dude, this guy's a gamer too.
Yeah.
He built a PC. You see him build a PC for like 10 minutes.
He fucking plays WoW, dude.
Yeah, dude. Do you know the lore of him getting the role of Superman?
Yeah, he was like playing WoW.
He almost missed it because he was raiding with his guild. That's so sick.
Yeah,
like he seems like a genuine guy, you know, outside of work and stuff like that. It's just that, given the material he got, I think he did the best of his ability.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, Man of Steel, man, it's like...
Man of Steel is an interesting one. I can't wait till we get like deeper into our DC Extended Universe filmography. Our next movie is Batman vs Superman.
Martha. Motherfucking Martha.
Why did you say that name? Man, that scene will like live on in infamy. You know, whether you like it or not, like
it's funny because there have been reports that you know Captain America: Civil War, right?
Yeah.
So when it was announced that Batman v Superman was going to happen, apparently Kevin Feige wanted there to be a versus movie for Marvel as well, with Captain America: Civil War. Mm-hmm. And so he hired the Russos, like, hey, can you guys do it, right? And that's why I think they came out the same year, right? 2016.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Well.
Coincidentally.
Yeah. But yeah, Captain America: Civil War, we saw our heroes being pitted against each other. Just like Batman v Superman, seeing our heroes being pitted against each other. Yeah. Both came out in the same year.
But you know what Captain America: Civil War was missing? It was missing Jesse Eisenberg as the Riddler. Oh, I mean, Lex Luthor. Do you remember the scene? Dude, I don't know why out of all the scenes, other than the Martha scene in Batman vs Superman, the one that I remember the most is... Okay, so...
I mean, I haven't seen it yet. I just know because of the memes.
Damn it. I don't know if this part was memed. Because there's a part in the movie where some businessman is talking to Lex Luthor, and he's playing basketball, and then he stops playing basketball to talk to him, and then he has, like, this little, like, monologue with him, and then he takes a Jolly Rancher and slips into the guy's mouth. Do you know about the Grandma's Peach Tea thing, too?
Yes!
Do you know about the Grandma's Peach Tea thing?
No, I don't.
So there's another scene in the movie.
This sounds amazing.
There's another scene in the movie.
This sounds amazing. I
where,
can't wait.
Oh man, what's the name of the actress who played the politician?
Viola Davis?
No. She's in The Big Sick. She's the mom. You know.
The Big Sick?
Yeah.
The Big Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the voice of Miss Incredible.
Miss Incredible too. Why can't I figure it out?
Holly Hunter? Is that what it is? Something like that? Right here.
All right. I got the Big Sick next to me right here. Let's go see the casting. Holly Hunter. So anyways, she's in Batman vs Superman. She plays a politician, and she's talking to Lex Luthor about what to do with Superman and how we should deal with him just in case he does go crazy, and like what is our contingency plan essentially, right? So Lex Luthor's like, hey, grant me access to the big Kryptonian ship and Zod's body, and I'm gonna create like the best super weapon you've ever seen, right? And then Holly Hunter's like, I can't do that. That's government property. And then what does Jesse Eisenberg say? He says something about like this story about Grandma's peach iced tea, which is piss in a jar. And then
what the fuck?
At a court hearing for Superman's crimes, whatever crimes he committed,
it's probably all the crimes he fucking made in fucking Man of Steel.
Yeah, you saw
all
him,
that death, all that destruction.
Murder 500,000 people. So, anyways, there's a scene, the scene of the court hearing. Holly Hunter goes to her seat and she looks over and there's a jar of Grandma's peach iced tea on her desk. You would think that would stink the whole courtroom.
Bro, just like Minari, so bro.
Yellow,
just like Minari.
there's a lot to talk about with this movie.
Oh man, now
we'll probably discuss it after we view the ultimate cut.
Dude, and Wonder Woman's in it. So
she is.
You know this thing's gonna be amazing.
You know who else is in Batman v Superman? Turkish Airlines. This movie's brought to you by Turkish Airlines.
Bro, this film's better be cash, dude.
Did you ever see the the promo where Zack Snyder discusses why Turkish Airlines is so important to Batman vs Superman?
What? No.
There's an interview where he's like, "Yeah, I'm so grateful for Turkish Airlines. They sponsored this movie. They helped produce it, and the fact that Turkish Airlines is in this universe, it makes it feel like Gotham and Metropolis are real places you could go to." This is real, by the way. Like, this is an actual interview he did. It's fantastic.
Oh my god.
I love this guy. This guy is so good at what he does.
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of Michael Bay when he did an interview for Age of Extinction.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the interviewer asked him like something about like the Transformers and like why he likes directing them and what's so good about them.
Mm-hmm.
And his response was, he's literally sitting like this. He's literally sitting like this. And he goes, you know, they're just so good. And they just do great things. And I'm like, wow, that is
Shakespearean, bro.
That is the man behind these 5 movies. And you know what? Zack Snyder is the man behind Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Justice League.
And the superior cut.
And the superior cut. He is a genius. And you know what, Josh? If we didn't understand Man of Steel, it was too complex and intelligent for our feeble-minded brains.
I would think so. We got to go back to our what more Martin Scorsese call them Marvel movies, roller coaster ride movies, amusement park ride.
The theme parks.
Yeah, theme parks.
They're essentially theme parks.
They're theme parks.
Marty!
Shout outs to, let's give a quick shout out to Martin Scorsese for telling us that our taste in movies is poo poo. Oh my goodness, but what other DC extended universe movies have you seen?
I've seen part of Shazam.
Okay.
Which I thought was pretty entertaining, I'm not gonna lie. I think Zachary Levi fucking killed it. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen some of Aquaman.
You saw the part where the CGI octopus was playing the drums? It's my favorite part of the movie.
every time you talk about that, I just think of like Little Mermaid.
Oh my god.
But no, I mean I saw the big like underwater battle. That's it.
You mean the part where there's like crabs like shooting lasers at each other?
Yeah.
That part is
fucking
crazy.
Giant lobsters like fucking just running into each other and shit.
Yeah, dude. No, dump them in some butter sauce, bro.
Before COVID, I actually saw Birds of Prey in theaters.
Oh yeah.
And I thought that was okay.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't terrible. I thought it was great. I think it was a little too short. I think it was good.
Mm-hmm. That one is fairly entertaining, mainly because it uses the best part of
Suicide Squad,
which was Margot Robbie.
Yeah, and you saw Wonder Woman 1984 recently, right?
Let's not talk about that.
That's for another episode. I'm
still reeling from it.
When we finish this DC marathon, that's another episode. But yeah, man. I mean, I think this is a good place to end it right here.
I'm so excited for the rest of these DC movies.
Yeah. Well, if you've been listening this entire time and you made it to this point, thank you for listening to us just ramble on about movies. Expect more episodes to come. Next week we are gonna do I don't know if it's live yet, but we will do a reaction to the Oscar nominations to see if our favorite movies made it. Josh has a lot of work to do.
I definitely do. I have my homework cut out for me.
Yeah, but thank you guys once again for checking out the Coworkers podcast, and please expect more to come. Thank you.
Catch everyone later. Have a good night.